What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever.
Period.
I am your host, Farrah. We're drawing with our what goes Lee. Lee, how did you feel about this episode? Because I'm not feeling it.
I'm doing good. I thought it was a good episode. I really enjoyed it.
I'm not feeling
It had its
it.
moments here and there. I think, a few players had like key moments, but for overall, it was pretty chaotic. I feel like, I was just saying like, I thought the episodes for Merge were usually 2 hours. At least they have been for these last few. So I just feel like this episode, like, I don't know. Like I feel like there was something missing from it. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
I think it could just be because usually when we get a merge vote, it's pretty chaotic, which we have that. But at the same time, we knew Josh was going the minute the
Yeah.
episode started. So I think the fact that it was such an easy vote and like the person who went home was
Great
the
way to
person
put
that
it.
we all thought were going home, it's like, oh, okay.
Underwhelmed. Honestly, I think the twist needs to go away. I don't like this. This is stupid because all it does for me, all 3 seasons, even though they were okay votes in the past season, all 3 seasons, it's just stifled me from the excitement of the merge. Like it's like the excitement we usually get from the merge is totally gone because they're kind of merged here. You're not as excited, and then next round they are merged, but it's like they've been merged for a round. So now the usual, oh my god, they're from the merge has been gone for me for the last 3 seasons. This was only cute for the 41. Ever since then, I haven't been as excited for the merge because this round kind of just it blocks it for me. I don't know. They need to give it up, like give up type shit. Like you did that one thing, and this wasn't the thing. I don't know.
I'm
Not a
really
fan.
happy there wasn't like a big twist or anything. Like I think the dividing them up into two teams and then one being safe is still cute. I don't mind that necessarily. I think my big issue with the merge was like that extra twist that they threw in there, like the hourglass or
Yeah.
something stupid like that. And I'm glad that isn't in there anymore. Just overall though, I mean, the positions of people being in situations where we're in this small tribe, or not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily a small tribe, but this small pool of people that are available. I just feel like that concept is just so overused at this point. Like,
Yeah.
I want the beauty of the merge is all of them coming together and voting for the first time. Like, and they still got to vote, but the fact that only a few of them were eligible, it makes
Yeah.
the strategy one-sided. Since they were already planning on getting out Josh, since he was eligible to be voted out, I mean, it was an easy vote, So
Literally. So we started this episode off at the Tika tribe because they were going to tribal council. Josh has a diary room. He was like, I'm feeling on top of the world because we were supposed to go to tribal council. I was supposed to get voted out, and I didn't. And it's like, well, just one round later, they could have just let Josh go. They could have just had that tribal. No shade. So that was that. At the Soka tribe, we get the news that they're merging. Well, they're going to be on one beach.
Mm-hmm.
So
right, they're not merging. Just on one beach together. That's
so
why the idol says this.
Like, girl,
this idol is only available until everyone's on the same beach. I'm like, what? What? Oh, because they don't merge. You just
anyway, like literally.
What do we call it?
It's a
limbo.
Like what? So Soka and Tika, they pull up to Ratu or whatever, and now they're not merged, but they're all on the same beach. And Carson is excited. Carson, we got a lot of Carson POV. Carson,
we did. Carson, it's giving winner edit. Is it giving winner edit?
I wouldn't call it winner edit based on the last couple edits. Based on the last couple edits, it's not giving winner because these other winners have not been edited like this.
True. It was giving me big merge boot edit. The thing is, I don't see him being a losing finalist, but you never really know how a player's perception is of the other tribe, because he did something this episode that honestly could shift his perception moving forward. So we have no idea. But I mean, this was a big positive episode for Carson. It feels like it's setting him up for something.
It could be next round. The actual merge. Like the actual merge, he could go home, and then it's like you're still technically a merge. Boo! So we bigged you up for that. I don't know.
I see that.
But anyway, he was excited because he was like, he's gonna cause some chaos, and this is when he tells Ratu before everyone comes over. He tells them, he's like, yeah, I had an idol. It's null and void now because we're all on the same beach. Jamie did.
He would just be so excited to tell their business. I wouldn't like
literally. Why do they need to know?
I would not even have time to consider whether it's best for my game or not because I'm not that. Telling them would never cross my mind.
It's not even coming up.
In a situation like this where he got this advantage, no one questioned him about what he had, and then like that, it's like, leave it alone. They for all they know, the twist was you getting switched. They didn't know that you had an idol at all. I mean, it's null and void, but it's like, is it relevant information? Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. I guess he was worried Josh would come and say it, and then they'd be like, "What about yours?" And it was like, ooh.
Gag me. And then that made Lauren tell the girls about her extra vote. Yeah, the girls just like, all these secrets. It's like,
I don't know why she did that. She didn't have to do that. But hey, we moved.
Baby.
Because it wasn't even giving like we're all sticking together. It was just giving, I don't know. They didn't even say that. They just started telling each other secrets and then moved along. So we moved. I don't know. Carson also thinks Jamie has an idol because Matthew told him Jamie has an idol. Jamie does not have an idol. Well, Jamie does have an idol, but it's fake.
It's not real.
Yeah.
Fake as hell.
So the other child's pulled up and Jamie has a diary. Jamie's finna win this season. I'm sorry. Jamie has a diary room. She's like, I'm just that girl. Like, I'm that girl of the island. I know the most people here. I have my idol. Like, if anyone doesn't know that I'm that girl, I don't know where they are at. They're blind. And
like, they are really setting up Jamie Lynn. They want to they want that moment of her playing that fake idol.
And that's what's gonna happen. She's gonna play her fake idol.
That's what they're setting it up for. They want that moment to happen. Because why do we keep getting so many confessions of her being like, yeah, I'm like, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Jamie acted like she played this about 5 of the times before. Like she's speaking like she a veteran. Like, yeah.
No, literally. Kane had a diary room. He's nervous because a lot of people was here. Kane got a cute little perspective, but I think it's because he was half of the vote. Well, kind of talked for the vote.
One's a chopping block.
After that, Josh, he goes and he talks to the Soka tribe. And he's like, yeah, I'm glad I'm back because, I'm vibing with Soka. Mind y'all, Soka don't like him. So he's talking to himself. Yeah. But here's diary room and he says he's excited to see them. Then he talks to Brandon. This is where he gets weird because he's talking to Brandon. Brandon was like, I heard you had an idol. And he was like, I do have an idol. I do. And he has a diary room. He's like, I don't know what to do about this idol that I lied to Yam Yam and Carolyn about. And my thing is, they caught you when you lied about it. So you could have just moved along. Like, I thought Josh was at the point where, they know I don't have an idol. They caught me. So I'm going to move forward. He was clearly not. So he's telling everybody that he's telling some people he has an idol and telling some people he has a fake idol and telling some people he doesn't have an idol. So he's causing all this confusion. It's weird. After this, Jamie and Franny and Heidi talk. And Jamie is like, there's a lot of conversation with a lot of different people. And Jamie is like, Josh probably doesn't have the idol, but I don't know or Josh probably does have the idol, but I don't know because he's telling people he don't have an idol. And Franny has a diary room. She's like, I'm nervous about Josh. Josh just needs to go. Franny don't like Josh. Period.
Yeah. I wonder what this rumor about like Josh being so scary or dangerous. Like Josh has proven to be anything but a threat in this game at all. This man, he's literally throwing his own game in the goddamn toilet. Yeah, y'all, like he is not a threat to y'all. And honestly, like, I mean, that is just like base strategy, like to stick with your tribe going into merge. Not necessarily that you have to follow it, but it's like I don't see any reason to cut someone that still thinks y'all are so strong. Like,
yeah.
But I think they have this perception of him that he's just, I guess, not trustworthy, a liar. Because think about Josh though. It's like he will randomly lie for no reason. Tell a terrible lie.
Yeah. Not even
everyone knows is a lie.
Not even a good one like Sandra. And it's weird because on Twitter, the girls were like, I just feel like, why is Franny trying to get Josh out at this moment? And I see that. But also, on the contrary, he's weird a little bit. Like, he was moving. He was just doing a lot. He's walking around lying about having an idol. He don't have an idol. Of course, people are going to think they think you have an idol. You don't have an idol. It was just a lot. But after this, they have a group conversation. And it gets a lot more again. Because in this group conversation, he basically starts mentioning that Yam Yam turned on him. He's like, yeah, I mean, I was trying to be cool or whatever, but Yam Yam backstabbed me. It's crazy.
And it's just like, why is he going over there and just spilling all this tea? Like, I don't understand.
It's like, you could spill the tea, but why are you doing it in front of him? Why are you doing it to I don't know. It's just, I don't know. And so Yam Yam has a diary room.
Josh is random as hell.
Random as fuck. Yam Yam has a diary room. He's like, Josh is annoying. And I just feel like his perception of me can taint the way other people see me. So he needs to go, period. And Yam Yam is a smart one in a lot of ways. I like Yam Yam. It's weird because he's in a bad position, but I think he's a goodish player. So it's interesting to see him kind of maneuver past this a little bit. I think he's doing a good job, though. Yam Yam also mentions he's like, I would stick with Tika, but baby, Tika barely exists. Carson has new friends. Josh is not my friend. And Carolyn just voted against me. So I don't know what's the tea. And then we hop to Carolyn, mother. Carolyn has a diary room. She's like, it's weird because everyone's being fake. And I can't be fake. And it's like, if Carolyn wins this game, able to not be fake, I would love that for her because she does not want to talk to these people at all. It's bad for her. It's literally hard. She's literally saying in his arm, like, I can't do it. I cannot sit here and just, oh, how you doing? And kiki and coo. And it's like, period, girl, because I wouldn't be able to do it either. I'm lying, I would. But she would not. This is when she says she trusts Yam Yam 94%, but she trusts Carson 99%. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
You want to lean back with Carson bad. And she says, I
want
to
lean back with Carson bad. I don't think that's the right call because Carson, I think if anything, he has shown that he's going to be a messy girl. And he is going to flip-flop. Like, he is not going to necessarily keep your secrets. And if he has to throw you under the bus, Carolyn, he will. He will. 100%. I think Yam Yam, is a good ally for her because, Yam Yam, I think, needs Carolyn in a way. Like, I think Carson can be in a position where he at least feels like he does not need her, which is a problem. Because that's how you feel about
Sarah and them.
All right,
Sarah and Helen. So, after this, Carolyn and Carson talk. And Carson is like, yeah, you and Yam Yam definitely need to reconnect. And then Yam Yam comes over. And he's like, I just feel like, the three of us, we got it. We're walking. We're the Three Stooges. Like, I think we could do this.
Three. Go to the big speech.
Period. And he's like, but we need to keep it on the low. Keep it on the low. You on the Lewis. Period. And then he has a diary room, and he's like, I want to make sure my numbers stay. So Carolyn and Yam Yam, I need to make sure they're good, but I don't want other people to know we're good. Because that's who it's given I want to go with. And it's like, okay, Carson.
I like that. I like this trio.
Very smart.
I just don't think they have a lot of longevity together. I don't.
It's not giving a stable group, but I do think hopefully all of them can end up towards the end. But we'll see. I think loosely they all don't want each other to go. And that might be kind of enough. But we'll see. I think like this group kind of helped the Yam Yam vote this round because it's like Carson Loki was never gonna vote Yam Yam over Josh. Who the fuck is a Josh to him? You know what I'm saying? So that helps. But basically, later that night, we get Matt and Freddie again. And
it's like my thing is we're going on day 12 of this show, man. I know it smells crazy in that hut. I know it smells great, and they just keep smiling and giggling and laughing and breathing in front of their face. Like, baby, like, that's love. I hope they still together, because that is love right there.
Because if I'm going to be stinking next to you...
Rob and Amber, bitch, he finna propose at the finale, girl. He about to he gonna make a ring out of palm fronds. And he gonna propose at the finale.
That would be interesting. Matt reminds us that he doesn't have a vote. And he says in the diary room
I forgot about that.
Right. I'm so glad he reminded us, because, bitch, I would not have known. Him and Franny... Franny was the only person who knew he didn't have a vote this round. He does not have a vote He's not having a vote this round or whatever. And then he's finally trying to not just be all up on Franny all the time. He's like, all these people here, we need to act like we're not that cool.
And the crazy thing is, I have not seen Matt talk to anyone but Franny for real. Like, this episode, we saw it, but it seemed like people were going to him. Like, no, honestly, anytime people have talked to him, it's like people going to him. Like, he only actively talks to Franny from what we've seen in the edit.
Literally. And it's like, okay, good luck. After this, boom, we get to the immunity challenge. So, y'all know the tea. You got to earn your way into the merge. I wish they didn't. I'm sick of it. But hey, that's just me. So
is it even cute anymore?
It's not cute. It was cute the one time. That's it. Now, period. This is the tribe divisions. He divides them. Well, they all draw rocks. They get randomly divided into two different teams for this.
Why you got Carson as orange? Carson is a purple.
He was a purple. Then he was orange.
He's still a purple at heart.
He has a purple ring around his picture, but you can't see it because it's small. So he's orange. Boom. The fuck? And who else? Jamie. Jamie was initially orange and she's green, but she was green and now she's orange. Girl, it's confusing this season because they want to be random. So the orange team for this one round, I hate this, is Heidi, Danny, Lauren, Yam Yam, Josh, and Kane. The purple team is Matt, Franny, Carson, Carolyn, Brandon, and Jamie. If you are a visual learner, you can go to the YouTube and see the motherfucking teams on the screen. We got the motherfucking teams on the screen. This challenge is the same that it's been the last 3 seasons.
The big ass ball that's bigger than all of them.
Please,
that can crush them.
Please, Jeff, switch it up. If you're going to do the same shit, at least change the challenge. Please. I don't like the teams. I'm not a fan. It halts the merge. Like, this could have been merged. If this was a normal merge round, individual immunity, this would have been way more interesting of an episode, in my opinion. And I don't feel like the next episode, well, it could still be interesting, but I would rather have gotten slammed into the merge. But So boom, they start off and basically they neck and neck. All these challenges, you just end up at the puzzle. And it's like, I'm kind of tired of that too. But hey, we move. It's Survivor. So boom, they moving the ball, they get over the ball, boom. They get to the section where they have to climb up to the puzzle. So there's a net and a big ass ramp. You got to climb up to it. The way the bitches were just running up there couldn't be. I was like, what?
It was giving a Ninja Warrior, bitch. Like, they ate that up.
All of them. They all basically individually did it. On the orange team, Yam Yam didn't get up at first. And on the purple team, Jamie didn't get up at first. But then Yam Yam got up.
I will say, the purple tribe, that's a lot of tall people over there.
Yeah, it is. Jeff was like, they're evenly stacked. I think it's because he saw Danny and Josh on the other one. He's like, okay, they got some physical people. I think they kind of even. It's just taller was definitely purple because even Franny is tall.
Yeah.
Franny and Carolyn and them. So boom, they got up and Jamie, she couldn't get up. So it took her a second, but they ended up getting up. But to the puzzle first was the orange team. And that was Lauren and Heidi doing the puzzle for them. And then for the purple, Matt and Carson was doing the puzzle for purple. Y'all, ate that up. Carson didn't even think. He just was putting the pieces on the thing. And we find out.
As soon as he ran up there, he was done, basically.
Gone. So purple team ended up winning because Carson literally knew the puzzle. Y'all.
Mother.
Jeffrey, change them fucking puzzles.
Yeah, because time to switch it up, babe.
I didn't know it was the same tree puzzle every time they did it. Why is it the same tree puzzle every time? The fact that this dude 3D printed the puzzle and then did it before he came on is insane. You should not have the same shit every season. But
Jeff liked it. Remember how when Evie did that with the other puzzle, the ball puzzle?
Yeah, and
like they like
it's that. Cute.
Jeff,
it is cute.
Like, oh, this is what you get. You studied the game. You studied the game. You gotta know Survivor. Play Survivor. You gotta be.
It's conflicting because I think it's cute, but I don't think it's cute. But anyways, purple wins and they get their merge buffs. So they're all safe. So Carolyn, Brandon, Carson, Franny, Matt, and Jamie cannot go home this round, period. Which leaves the orange tribe. The orange tribe team, so the people eligible to be voted are Heidi, Danny, Lauren, Yam Yam, Josh, and Kane. Now, Yam Yam and Josh were the main people who were kind of on the outs anyways. Yeah. So it's like, this worked out great for a lot of people, period.
And great for me too, because when I saw the tribe division, I was like, "Well, Orange can lose."
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
No shade, because I was like, Lauren and Brandon ain't going home. So,
period. Back at the tribe, it is the orange team is back at the tribe, and then the purple team they went on vacation. What's it called? Reward. So back at the tribe, it's just the orange team, and we see the boys. Well, not the boys. It's Yam Yam, Kane, and Danny. They all are talking in the water. And Yam Yam basically has a diary room. He's like, I definitely am okay with Josh going home because Josh wants me to go home. And they start talking about the vote and they ask for a name and Yam Yam says, Josh. And Danny is like, maybe we should wait for the others to come back and decide the vote. We'll let them decide the vote.
I thought that was so weird though.
Like, and whatever they decide.
I don't want to discuss strategy at all with Yam Yam in that situation. Like,
he's weird.
Y'all are the ones who want to chopping block. Like, y'all can discuss the vote too.
Y'all can definitely discuss the vote. And then, like, we already know that
he really dismissed the fuck out of him. It was like, random.
We already knew that Danny had this plan with Brandon for the boys to link up, and he's also cool with Soka. So I'm guessing Danny just knew he wasn't going to be the vote, but I guess he didn't want Josh to be the vote, but he never said that this episode, we never got that tea, but it was weird, in my opinion. And Yam Yam had a diary room. He was like, damn, I should just shut the fuck up because Danny doesn't seem happy about that at all, and I just said a name, and I shouldn't have said the name. Back at the beach is Josh, Heidi, and Lauren. They're talking about the votes. Heidi and Lauren are like, we don't got no names. And Josh was like, it's giving Yam Yam. And they was like, we good with that. Josh has diary room. He wants Yam Yam out immediately. He doesn't like him. I think that's
where does it even stem from for real? It's just random to me. I don't know. Exactly. Like I said that. I literally texted you like Pharaoh, like before we got into all of this. I was like, Josh is gonna end up not working with Yam Yam and go home.
Yeah. And what happened? It just comes from nothing. I think Josh is just
it's hilarious because like even when he brought it up, it's like, well, this isn't gonna go anywhere for real because we know that he's a target. Like Josh has no allies and he's a huge target. It's like you're worried about the wrong thing, baby.
Literally. The wrong thing, the last thing. So Josh leaves and it's just Heidi and Lauren. And basically they're like, we're down. And then they discuss like, but do you think Josh has an idol? What's that to you? And they're like, he might have an idol, but we don't know because he's being weird about it.
Yeah.
And it makes people uncomfortable. That's the issue. Like, first of all, I don't know why this lie even exists, but it does.
Every time he shares information, it's like he thinks he's doing it to help himself or to better himself. And every single time he's done it, it's just like, no, that was so unnecessary. Like, literally, he have not had like not one decision made this season for him has been good for his game. I don't know what's going on.
Back at the reward. Back at the feast that the winning top team is having, they're openly discussing who they want to vote. Jamie is very active. I like Jamie. I'm sorry, because she's like very active. She's like, so who's the biggest threat of the 6 over there? What's T? And Matt and Franny, they kind of speak first, and they're like, it's giving Josh. Josh is very meticulous. Josh is sneaky. He survived.
Which, like I said, definitely the wrong read. Like they perceived him a certain way, and then he kept surviving, which kind of. Yeah. And they worked with him, so it kind of kept that perception going. But like, Josh is not.
I think socially he just wasn't that good because there's no way for them to be thinking this. But I'm assuming he just
didn't have a good. What we saw from him socially in Tika, the first minutes of him getting there is him getting caught in a lie.
That's true.
And then as soon as he got submerged, telling people about an idol that he doesn't actually have. That's how like. It's just like, what's the point?
And Jamie was like, well, if he has an idol, we need to think of a plan B. Brandon's like, who y'all think the plan B is? Matt says, what about Kane? And Brandon has diary room, just to refresh y'all memory. He's beefing with Kane because Kane wrote his name down, was the only person who wrote his name down round 1. So he's like, I'm okay with Kane. I like that with Brandon. It doesn't seem like he's tunnel vision. It just seems like he was okay with it. He didn't say Kane's name. He says, what do y'all think? Matt said Kane. He said, good. So I like that because I feel like what Josh is doing is he's actively trying to get Yam Yam out. And it's like, girl, no one's worried about you, but we move. So that's the backup vote allegedly. And this is when Carolyn is like, y'all, he don't got no idol. And no one really responded. And she was like, back at the camp, he literally showed us this idol and it was literally beads from tree mail. So we know it's not an idol. And no one really listened to her. And Freddie was like,
crickets.
Freddie was like, anyways, the backup vote is Kane, the main vote is Josh, we move on. And it's like, okay. And Carolina's down. She's like, these people just ignored the fuck out of me again.
And it's like people keep doing that to Carolina. It's like they
ignore her ass all the way to final tribal. Exactly. Keep ignoring her.
Like I tweeted, like,
love
no,
that.
You're gonna ignore her. You're gonna overlook her, and she's in the final tribal with her $1 million check.
With her $1 million motherfucking check. Her returnee invite, bitch. Please. Shout out to Carolyn. She will be the winner. Back at camp, the winners come back. So everyone's back. All 12 of them are back on the camp. And then we see Jamie telling Heidi, Kane, and Lauren the tea. They're basically like, Josh is the vote. Kane is the second vote. Boom. We see Franny have a discussion with people, and she's like, Kane might be the other vote. And she's telling this to Josh. And Josh was like, okay, that's fine with me. Him or Yam Yam, I don't care as long as it's not me. Because now Josh is scared that he might be the main vote, so he needs to find someone who's the second vote. He says he's okay with Kane, so he needs to scratch it with Yam Yam since Kane is the understudy.
And I was like, okay, that yes.
I didn't even like that.
I at least like this because at the end of the day, Yam Yam is not his issue. Yam Yam is not the problem. Yeah. You know what I mean? At this point, though, it was just a little bit too late. Yeah. And also, too, like, you don't just, he did the same thing, Claire's vote back on Soka. He was like, well, I'm close with Claire. I really don't want to see her go, but I mean, that's what the tribe is doing. It's like, he's coming with this someone's telling him this new plan. So it's like, we'll just go with this. And it's like, no, what do you want to happen?
Please. So he goes to Yam Yam and he's like, let's just squash the beef. Yam Yam has a diary room. He's like, girl, now he coming to me. Like, Kane is fine, but I want him to go. And he's like, well,
after this, pissed him off. He's like, it's too late.
Literally. After this, Lauren, Franny, and Brandon talk. And they talk about how it's Josh and Kane and not Yam Yam. Yam Yam is not an actual vote. It's either Josh or Kane. And Brandon has diary room, and he's like, I'd low-key be okay with it being Kane because we never know how information travels. We never know what the real plan could be. Josh can have an idol. So I really am okay with it. If it has to be Kane, it has to be Kane. Then we see how information travels because Carson talks to Kane. Carson tells Kane his name was brought up. I thought this was sloppy.
Very sloppy.
As soon as he did it, I was like, why is he doing this? But it didn't backfire on him yet. In this episode, it did not.
Right.
But Kane went straight to Brandon and said, Carson just told me y'all was saying my name. What's T?
And it's like, baby. And like, that's the thing. Like, I've spoken about this before. Like, it reminds me very much Sammy. Last year, it's like, I don't know. Like, they want to be very active and take control of their game. And, like, they're going around just being sloppy. And it's like, that's going to get you caught up. Like, there was no
he did not have to tell him that. He did not have to tell him that at all.
And I understand his idea. Like,
Kane was not going home.
Of course, he wants to keep his allies close. He considers Kane an ally, to Tika, you know what I mean? And he's working with a lot of the Ratu. But it's like, you know, Kane was not really going to go for it. Like, you could, like, that was avoidable without telling him.
Yeah, you could have moved that along. And if you felt like you could have gone, you could have said that the secondary vote needs to be Yam Yam and moved along. You didn't have to tell Kane, but he did. And after this,
like, Brandon, up. They said that.
Literally. Brandon pulls Carson aside and he's like, Kane just told me what you said. What was that? That was sloppy as hell. And Carson is like, oh, hell. And he's stressed a little bit. Yeah. And it's like, girl, why did you do that? Boom. After this, Kane, Danny, and Matt talk because Kane is trying to get the vote off of him onto someone he knows Mike can go home. And he says that's Yam Yam. He says Josh could have this idol. Fuck all that. Yam Yam needs to be the vote. Period. Mm-hmm. So Kane starts pushing it, and Matt likes that idea because Matt, and honestly, it doesn't make sense to me because, Matt doesn't have a vote, but he also cannot go home. So I don't think he should have been worried this much. But Matt is like, I want as many votes on one person as possible. So I'm going to go with this plan. I didn't get it, but Matt, for the first time, starts talking to people, and he basically goes around and tells everyone to vote Yam Yam. We see that does not even happen. So that shows you the edit on Matt. That's the thing. They don't usually edit, and this is another thing. Matt is not winning this game because they don't usually edit a winner attempting something and their target not going home, and that's basically what happened. And it's like
he may winning Franny's heart. That's what
and that's a winner in his mind. Boom. The fuck. I forgot whose idea was it for Josh to go home. Franny's. Franny was the first person that said it. She had a diary room.
She's been plotting on him for a minute.
She has. Franny's winning this game. I know that's right. Boom. After this, we go to Tribal Council. At Tribal Council, nothing happens. I'm sorry, y'all. Literally nothing. Josh goes home. That was all. I'm trying to think anything significant. Nope. Josh goes home. We knew this at the beginning. We knew this 3 episodes ago.
Did you watch the preview for the next one? I didn't catch that.
I watched it previously for the next one. It said, what was in the previously for the next one? God damn, I'm pretty sure I watched it.
Not the previously for the next one.
What was in it? Honestly, I don't remember anything that was in it. So clearly it was a bunch of randomness. Had to be. Oh, Lauren said we got to break them up. Talking about Matt and Franny. I do remember that. Don't think that's gonna happen since they showed it. And that was it. It was a bunch of like random scenes that didn't have any context. But the one that did have context was that they need to break them up because they too close. She said them up because they too close. I'm assuming it's Matt and Franny. I guess.
I mean that makes the most sense, right?
Yeah. I would think it's Matt and Franny. Boom, we're done. Let's get into these motherfucking ratings or whatever. We're gonna rate these motherfucking players. Starting with Josh, who was voted out this round. I'm gonna rate him first. Josh is a 2, and that's generous. What do you think of Josh as an overall player?
I definitely agree with that. It's really bad. Like, we have not really seen anything positive from Josh ever since the Claire vote. And it's been episode after episode. He's been a target ever since. He hasn't even known it. He's been trusting people that he shouldn't trust, telling business he ain't got no business telling. It's bad. It's bad.
Bad as hell. How do you feel about Brandon, though? And it's like, we got information, but we don't have we still don't have a lot of information, honestly.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, usually you put the person's past numbers up. That would have helped me a lot because I don't remember.
Yeah, that is
the last number we gave for Brandon.
He's only been to tribal once, and it was the first round. You gave Brandon last a 5. Oh, they're all 5. Literally, most of these people were 5s, but you gave Brandon last a 5.
And so are they gonna give more than that? I don't know.
I mean, all of Ratu that's still here, we gave them all 5s the last time we rated them. So good luck with that.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, these ratings are definitely going to be just probably all over the place this first round because we didn't get much detail like we would usually get, I feel. And then also, like, people are not really, there's no really groups forming necessarily. Like, everyone was just kind of after Josh because he's a dummy. No shade.
Not a dummy.
Like Brandon, I feel like clearly with him merging with Ratu, but it seems like he still has Lauren. Carson is referring to him, and then like it does seem like the two bigger tribes, Ratu and Soka, out of safety are just making this big conglomerate. So I don't know where that's gonna go, but as of now, it'll be a 6, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just giving him a 5. I feel like we don't know enough. We don't really know who's loyal to him. We don't really know where he stands. There's uh there's 4 Ratu left. Kind of Jamie Lynn was a Ratu too, but Carson's was kind of with Tika. So it's kind of even. I feel an even playing field for almost everyone. Maybe not Tika a little bit, but even them a little bit. So I'm like, I just don't know how to feel about anyone. I think he played this round well, but I don't have enough information, honestly. Truly. Carolyn. I don't know. I feel like Carolyn is clearly a really good player because she's so aware of herself and she's aware of everything else. And I like that. She showed that again this episode when she mentioned everybody was basically ignoring her. But everyone basically ignoring her makes me scared for her. I want to bring her high because she's a good player, but I want to bring her low because it doesn't seem like people value her input. They don't value her opinion. I feel like she was the one who was in the least amount of conversations about the vote this episode, and she went on the reward. So I'm gonna give her a 4.5. I'm gonna give her a 5. I am.
Yeah.
And I'm just leave it at that because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going based off of what we've seen in the episode so far, I mean, she's kind of in one of the worst positions going into this merge, her and Yam Yam, because they don't really have many allies. People are ignoring her. The good thing is she does have her idol. And one thing we saw from Carolyn, she is able to get herself out of really sticky situations. But as of now, going based on the episode today, I'll say it's a 4.5.
And how you feel about Carson?
Carson, really, really active player. I mean, I think we saw a lot of positive from them this episode. I like that he's thinking about the game. But his strategy, from what I'm seeing, it looks like it's gonna be pretty messy. It is gonna be pretty messy. He's gonna be spilling the tea. He's going to be jumping ship from people that he thinks is going down.
Mm-hmm.
I see him doing that. I see him continuously probably getting caught up in shit. And I don't know if if Carson's name comes up, I don't know yet if he'll be able to, save himself in that way. Because at the end of the day, he's kind of on the same ship as Carolyn and Yam Yam, to where like he doesn't have any, I don't think, real legitimate allies outside of them and Kane. And Carson, he also gives me, I feel like he will jump ship on Carolyn and Yam Yam if he needs to. He'll jump ship on Kane if he needs to. He'll jump, and that's not always the best. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna need certain people to get to the end, and you can't just drop them when you feel like the ship is sinking. Sometimes you have to control the narrative. I remember I kept saying this about Sammy, is that you keep going back and forth, but at some point you're gonna have to take the reins and move the pieces on your own. And he mentioned that he wants to be able to do that at some point. But like I said, this episode, one of the big things we noticed is him getting caught in his shit very quickly, very immediately. I don't think Brandon's gonna forget that. But so far, I think I like where he's at, so I'm gonna say it's a 6.5.
Yeah, I honestly agree with that rating. That's what I was going to give him because I feel like he was very active in a lot of the conversations. I feel like he does have connections with people, even though it might not be strong allegiances. He has connections with all of Ratu and all of Tika so far. So even though Brandon caught him, Brandon still was talking to Carson as an ally. So I like that. I think Carson's is in technically one of the best positions, but in Survivor, you could go home for being in the best position. I also feel like Carson, I don't trust, kind of like you said, I don't trust his potential judgment in the future. He needs to be loyal to somebody. And players like him and Sammy, they don't understand the value in loyalty. And I don't think Carson understands the value in genuinely being loyal to somebody, at least one person. And I think that's going to fuck him up and he's going to lose. Danny, we didn't get shit from Danny. We know he has the kind of Soka 4 are kind of locked in a bit. I think that puts all of Soka kind of in a good position. I think the Soka are the most locked in group here. So I like his position because of that. He did not go home. His name didn't get brought up. And he has an idol. So I'll give Danny a 5.5. How do you feel about Danny?
Danny, like I really did not like how he dismissed Yam Yam in that conversation. And then we have the other information on the episode prior when him and Brandon were at that secret beach with Carolyn, and they were saying, oh, how they're gonna connect with each other and how they're just gonna make this plan to get to the end. It's just like I think Danny has shown that he has a bit of an ego. And I don't know if, he's going to be able to, catch on to if he becomes a target in the future. Because, usually people who think like that, it's easy for them to get caught from the back, real quick by someone they think is an ally. It's not really an ally. Like, I can see Danny really getting caught up in his own mess that he has going on. Yeah. I mean, we don't really see any evidence of that, but I do think it's setting up to be that. He has an idol, which is really good. It seems like he has good connections with all of his former Soka, including Jamie Lynn. Yeah. And, they have the majority when it comes to numbers, if you want to say, if they choose to stick with it. But they also just vote out one of their own people who trusted them. So, clearly they don't care about that. I think honestly, a 5 for Danny.
And Franny. Period.
I like Franny. I don't necessarily. I'm kind of over the Shawn, man. I'm not gonna lie. It was really cute at first, but now I'm just like,
it's never cute.
It was kind of cute at first. I think a positive for Franny is that she did get her target out. Like, she has been plotting on Josh for a while, and he's finally out. I do think that her being tied to Matt is dangerous, and then I can definitely see if they do become targeted, she will go for him because I feel like she just gives off that she is a more dangerous player to him. She seems smarter, she seems more active, she seems more social. But she is aware and she is in the game actively, but I do think that he is kind of an anchor that kind of is holding her down. Because I thought that both of them had potential to a certain extent. Matt a little bit more, but ever since the showman, it's like Matt has shown that he is not here for anything else but the game. And it's like you see Franny talk outside of that, but we also get majority of just the showman. So I really don't know how that's going to affect her moving forward, but I think she's in a decent position. So I'll say it's a 6.
Yeah, I like Franny's position minus the showman's because she was in probably most of the conversations that we saw this episode, just randomly, her talking to Heidi, her talking to Lauren randomly. And it's like, okay, she's talking to a lot of people. We didn't see that from a lot of the other people all the time, the way I felt like we saw with Franny, but it was also a lot of showman stuff. So maybe that's why we kept seeing her. And I don't like that for her. They're going to be a target. And I feel like you said, she could go home if they are targeted. But she did get the person she wanted out. She kind of encouraged this vote. And that's cute. But can she do it again? Also, does she really have the I don't know. We don't have enough proof from her. She does have the Soka 4. I think that the Soka 4 are still going to be tight in a sense. So that's good for her. But other than that, I don't know of any connections. So I'm gonna give her a 6 also. Heidi, I'm giving her a 5. There's not much I can say about Heidi. She is in the Soka 4. That is all. Yeah. Don't know else. Yeah.
I think it's a 5 as well. We just don't have much information from her. I thought it was really interesting this episode how she was like, she spoke with Josh and she was still also on, okay, well, Josh needs to go. I don't think it's necessarily smart for any of Soka to just be so anti-Josh when Josh was loyal to them and was willing to work with them down. Like, I don't think excuse me. He was not under the impression that he was a target from them. So it's like, I don't know. That was just a big misread on him. And also with a player like Heidi, I don't know. It's because we only get the edit. So I don't know if she's just kind of going with this plan because Franny and Danny and them said so, or does she actually believe it? I don't really know. Because when you're on a 6-person voting block, my mind would be like, why would I vote off someone that's on my previous tribe? Like, who's coming to me about what he wants to vote to be? Like, I don't know. I just didn't see why she would want to do that in my mind. But hey, we'll see, I guess.
I agree. And how you feel about Jamie Lynn?
Jamie Lynn, I don't know where Jamie Lynn is gonna go. I love her energy, I love her spirit.
Literally that.
But it's just like I don't know how far she's really gonna make it. I feel like they are setting her up for a big embarrassing moment with this fake idol, and I think it's gonna be really, really embarrassing for her. I don't read through the screen that people she's talking to are seeing her as an actual legitimate ally. We're not seeing her too many of the important conversations. You know, when she has her daughter room, she makes herself seem like she's one of the more important players. But I don't know. We don't know what's going on. Deeper into the relationships. But at this point, I mean, I just I don't have much faith. I'm not gonna lie. Considering the fact that she has a whole fake idol, I don't know how much she's banking her strategy on that idol. Because she could easily be like one day, oh well, it doesn't really matter because I have my idol and I'm gonna play it.
Yeah,
and she don't got shit. So I don't know. I'm gonna say it's a 5 for her as well.
Yeah, I think she's a little bit more in the game, at least by the player's perception a little bit, because she's not getting just disregarded like Carolyn. At least I think when they do have conversations, she might be standing there, and that's good for her. And she was even the one who told Kane, Lauren, and Heidi the plan. And it's like, okay, she's telling people the plan. She's way active, and I think her activeness is a positive. But like you said, she has this fake idol. People know about the fake idol. And Carson thinks it's real, and that's not good. So it's like that's not the best for her because people might think she's a threat in that sense. But I do like that she's active, and I like that she has a lot of potential connections because she's been on 2 different tribes. So that kind of helps her in a way. So I'll just give her a 5 for now too, because I'm not the most confident. Kane, I'm not confident in Kane a lot at all. I don't think it was smart for him to tell people that Carson told him that what the vote was. Because what if Carson's like, well, I don't want to work with Kane no more. I told him one thing, and he told people that. Also, he was the backup vote because people don't have connections with him. Brandon, who was from his tribe, does not even care about him that much, which makes me feel like Soka tribe is going to be the more strongest one because Ratu clearly doesn't give a fuck about each other. And I don't think that's good for him. I feel like he panicked when the vote was his name, and the way he reacted, it helped. But I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I got to give him a 4 this round. He was one of the potential votes. He could have potentially went home, and I don't think he necessarily handled the situation the best. So there's that. How you feel about him, girl?
I honestly, this was really sad for Kane this episode. I mean,
Damn.
The fact that his name came up in the way it did, I think we just saw, with the Brandon situation, Carson having to come tell him to vote. It doesn't seem like he has many allies that are looking out for him. And I don't know how that's going to go well for him. He doesn't have an idol. He doesn't have a fake idol. So I don't really know where Kane is floating in the game at this moment. So I'm going to say it's a 4 as well.
Damn, now we're doing this. I think usually we get 2 hours, so we just get way more information, and it just feels like we don't know shit because Lauren is next, but I don't even know. How you feel about Lauren?
Yeah, we just don't know much from her. We know she has an extra vote. I don't like that she revealed it, but we have yet to see if it's going to mess up her game at all. It's just the issue with Rat2 is that clearly they can't depend on their relationship they made on the actual tribe. Kane, Brandon, and Lauren are all distrusting each other separately. Matt is no longer there, which if Matt was here in jury for them, I think it'd be a whole different game. Yeah. This would be a whole different setup. Yeah. But him being gone, that's a huge power player. So they're just loose, I think if Soka's able to keep their unity, they could really take it all the way to the end, depending on how they're playing. And that scares me for Lauren because I do think that she is going to need numbers. It's a numbers game, but it's just like the type of gameplay I think that she's going to be playing down the line. She's going to need numbers to help her, and I don't know where she's going to have those numbers from. If there's a solidified group, I don't know if she's going to necessarily be in it. So I think I got to give her a 5 at this point too.
I agree. Next is Matt. I am not confident in Matt. I don't think he's playing well at all. I don't think he's playing good in any sense. I think he's attached to Franny, and I think if they are targeted, he could go because Franny is a better player. It could easily be if they are both targeted, all Franny got to do is have a conversation that Matt doesn't have, and it's like, well, guess we're voting Matt. And I don't like that for him at all. He seems way too focused on the relationship. Franny's in it, but she's not as focused. So I just feel a little bit lower on him. I think the Soka situation could keep him safe. It could keep him safe. I think it will. I think socially people just like him. He's like a likable person. So I'm going to give him a 5 too. But that's because there's positive and there's negatives. I'm going to keep my eye on him though. What you rated, Matt?
Matt, I mean, I just wish that he was more in the game instead of up Freddie's ass. No shade. And mainly for that, I'm gonna say it's a 4.5.
Love that.
I'm gonna need him to focus on the game. I haven't got many game conversations. I mean, the more we got from this episode, it was pushing a plan that didn't even happen. So I just need more from him. Point blank.
Period. And last but not least is Yam Yam. How you feel about Yam Yam?
I like Yam Yam. He's showing that he's a player that can get himself out of these really tough spots. You know, he has no allies coming into this merge, and he's, selecting his social ability. I am scared for him in the future because there's only so many places you can go. The thing is, I don't think he initially comes off as a threat. The main reason his name was coming up is probably because he was in the 6. So I don't think moving forward, his name is going to get brought up that much. But from what we saw in this episode, he's really just not that included. So I'm going to say it's a 4.5 for him as well.
I agree with the 4.5. I feel like with Yam Yam, he's clearly a good player, but not in a good position. So for me, it kind of like evens it out. He was the second vote. If Josh didn't go, it could have been him. So that's not good either. But I just feel like Yam Yam handled the situation so well, very, very smoothly. He's also like eluding this perception about him that he's just, he's no one to be targeted. When really he kind of is. We saw how Yam Yam was low-key running his last tribe. So it's like interesting that I don't believe anyone is going to see him that way in this tribe. And that might, change their perceptions. Boom. We have them in order. We have Carson,
it's and
Brandon at the top. Period. Girl, it is what it is. I think Carson, Franny, and Brandon being the top 3, I guess that makes sense for me. I feel like no one else has shown any exceptional. Honestly, none of them have. Like, none of these people have necessarily shown an exceptional amount of prowess in the game, other than Carolyn, honestly. But I don't feel like Carolyn's in a good position, and I feel like some of the moves she makes are a little bit, quick instead of well thought out. These last couple of seasons we had like clear front runners, clear people who were eating the game up. Shan, Omer, Drea, who was the people like Jesse and them? So it's like Carla. So it's like interesting this season because we don't really have that. I don't trust Carson or Franny or Brandon as a player. I don't trust none of these people. I don't trust that. None of these people can genuinely like meticulously play this game, well thought out moves, and eat it up the way that we've seen these last 3 seasons multiple people do.
Well, minus 43.
No, Jesse and Carla were very meticulous in eating it up. In my opinion.
Oh, okay. Well, that was like 2 people, so I was like,
I just feel like there's no one. These last couple seasons, we've seen like at least three or four in the merge. This is no one. I
think what's fun about this season is a bunch of people like playing. It's a little bit chaotic, which is why it's kind of impossible to have that type of player.
That's true.
So that's gonna be fun. I do think Matt was that player though. And Matt
I agree.
Out.
I agree.
And I do think if Yam Yam had a little bit more numbers, he could have been, but
I felt the same way. Boom. Let's look at these motherfucking drafts. Y'all, we already know it's bad for me. Let's ignore it.
But I thought someone else.
In my defense, only 3 people have been voted out on my team. And 2 people have been voted out on me. So at least there's that. Damn.
I'm losing a lot of people. I'm going to lose a lot of people.
I still got the winner.
I really feel like I'm losing a lot of people.
And I feel like I got the final 3. I feel like all 3 of the finalists are on my tribe. Mix them up. I don't know which ones it is. It's them 3. So I think I got this. I'm honestly chilling. I think I won the Big Brother draft. I'm good. Like
you're not like I said. You didn't win both. You may have won one.
I think I won both.
But you're not winning both.
You don't have no winner on your tribe, please.
You may be right.
Dead ass. So if it's one of them, it's this one.
Oh, I see it for Yam Yam, but it's gonna be a long ride.
It's gonna be bad for
Carson too, but
it's gonna be a long ride too. You still got options. It still could be Yam Yam or Carson.
I just think Carolyn winning. Like, point blank, honestly.
I agree. I honestly agree. And you know who's winning Big Brother?
Kuzi.
So it's like I won both of them, just like that. Period.
Well, maybe you picked the mothers. So hey,
I know. It's just I had no choice. Boom. Make sure y'all join us next week right after the motherfucking episode. We will be hopping on to cover Survivor Live, bitch. And then make sure you check out our Big Brother videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. We will be covering Big Brother Canada or whatever you're into that. And then tomorrow we will be covering the Challenge World Tour. We stay doing that every week or whatever. So get into it. Bitch, we's out.